Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to House of Sky and Breath. I just wanted to jump in here quickly and tell you that the prologue for this episode, that basically the whole episode we'll be covering, talks about things like human camps where people are dying and being hurt. And I just want you to get the heads up in case that's something you don't want to listen to today. Come back next week. Take care of yourself.
Welcome to Crescent City with your hosts Natalie Jean and Jackie Zabrowski.
I feel like there's some kind of paint that'll show up more under this light. Yep.
I think that's a really good idea. I think that we should get some more paint.
Great way to start
Man, it's
an audio
weird
podcast.
because that wig looks very natural on you.
Oh, thanks. It's probably because my hair's this color natural.
Is that what it is? You look like it looks really good on you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this is pretty close to my natural hair.
But you hate your natural hair.
I find it boring. Like,
I think it looks wonderful.
Thank you. If I had body to my hair the way this wig does, I think I wouldn't be as in love with it.
Gotcha. So it have a little wave, have a little curl to it.
It's flat and pin straight into sort of the color brown. Like there's no, it is, if you look
Which is
up
a
brown,
nice color. Everybody loves a brown. It's a neutral tone. Okay.
I don't see a lot of people doing their hair brown.
My hair's brown, but not right now because I'm a different person. But underneath, I know, surprise, guys, this is a wig. It is a...
I think it looks really cute on you.
Thank you. I do feel like at some point I'm going to have to do platinum with the dark eyebrows. I think that it's going to have to happen. It's even though this isn't platinum, this is like I don't know, what am I, a sun-kissed? What am I, a soda? I'm not. It's the second book, guys. There's just so much. I feel like I'm buzzing because starting to reread this again, I was all of a sudden awash with how much happens in this book that I forgot where it started out.
Yeah.
And this whole prologue, I was like, fuck, I forgot about all of that.
Yeah.
So, it's thick. We are about to get in now.
It's not even close to thick as the third book.
No.
Third book's real big. Big boy.
Yeah. Juicy book. Yeah, I like the ass on that book.
Yeah. You're looking good as the hind.
Thank you. I'm feeling it. I feel like the bitchery is getting into my veins. Like I can feel the ice cold entering my body. So you better talk to Jackie while she's still here before the hind shows up.
I really feel like you're doing a good job.
I'm the hind now.
Pull back.
I'm the hind. That's it. That's all. I just needed a little bit of a transition. And it was like a substance moment. And you guys did miss it. It happened like a flash.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of substance, have you seen The Ugly Stepsister?
Man, I want to so badly. I've watched the trailer like 3 times. I just haven't been in the place for that. But then we went to go see Bring Her Back, and I was like, okay, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to get back in horror.
Great too.
Yes.
The Ugly Stepsister. I haven't been able to stop thinking about that movie. And I will say, yes, it is very graphic.
Yeah.
If you can't do body horror, I don't think this is for you. But it's also very funny. And it's satirical in many ways.
Yeah.
This is a movie I wanted to bring up on both of my shows, which does not happen often.
Whoa.
There's not usually a cross-reference for both of these shows.
No, smut and Mormons usually stay far away from each other.
But, oh my God. Please, if you guys like, I cannot recommend this movie enough. I cannot stop thinking
on
about
Shudder. Get it on Shudder.
Is it on Shudder?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize it was on Shudder.
Yeah.
Yes, please watch it. It's a
Shudder just dropped a bunch of like new. Every single movie that I've watched coming out of Shudder right now, I'm like, wanna watch. Like I've added them all onto the watch list. I guess we're having a horror summer, everybody, and I am living for it.
Love Shudder. Shudder's great.
Yes. Best $5.99 you can spend a month.
Yeah, it's a horror app. a streaming app if you don't know what that
It's
is.
got so much on it.
So much. They do really good.
We don't work with them, and I wish that we did.
I mean, we do stuff. Well, Henry does stuff.
Yeah,
with
not
them.
smut, not the
Not
smut world.
Um,
Surprise, also not. I mean, there is some crossover. I'd say there's more
Sure.
smut to horror crossover than there is the smut to Mormon crossover.
Well, I feel like that's actually why Ugly Stepsister, I wanted to bring it up. It's not smut, but it is talking about women's sexuality, and it is.
And everyone is being properly revolted by it, as they should be.
But it's okay. If you guys have ever seen Pearl, it's like Pearl, the Substance, and Welcome to the Dollhouse plus Ever After mixed together. Because I am an Ever After
a little bit of Drew Baby in there. Okay.
It's fantastic. And it's about the ugly stepsister from Cinderella.
Oh, yeah.
And oh my God, just please watch it if you can. If you
Hell
can get through body horror, it is great. I don't, because some I can't. You know, I'm not a huge into body horror. I couldn't get through stuff like Titan. But
why, you didn't want to fuck a car?
I think it's because
Natalie, you don't want to fuck a car.
I think it's honestly because a lot of body horror is done by men directors, and this is a woman director. It's her first feature, and it doesn't feel as angrily hateful towards women that a lot of body horror is.
Rather than just ripping them apart. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still hard. Don't get me wrong.
Hell yeah.
Okay, anyway, we don't have to talk about that one, but I just wanted to bring it up because I love it and I can't stop thinking about that movie.
All right, we'll all watch it. All right, we all have a little bit of homework. It's a little bit of reading and a little bit of horror. All right.
But I warned you also, don't watch it if you can't see extreme gore.
She warned you.
I warned you. I can't wait to hear what you think about when you see it. We're not talking about the ugly stepsister this episode.
No. It's a brand new book, baby. But we're back with some people that we love, but not in this prologue.
No.
This prologue, reading this for the first time, I was floored. It is such a great throwing you into this second book of just like, okay, bitch, let's go.
See, I had to work through. When I first read this first part of this book, I had to adjust my mindset because she left us hanging sexually with the other book.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
Dingleberry of sex.
We're going straight into horror and violence. Okay. I need to shift my mind space and get away from thinking about sex scenes.
Even though we are both very hot, we have to get away from it.
We have to. Because at the beginning of the second Crescent City book, House of Sky and Breath, we are opening.
Oh, I don't know if you've read that book, Natalie. It sounds like it's old and brand new.
Yep. It's as ancient as Thor? Is Thor a thing?
Pretty old.
Pretty old. But I've never read it. And now I'm opening it up for the first time.
Hell yeah. And we're going to explore it together.
Maybe I found it in the Library of Parthos. How meta can we be?
Oh my God. I don't know if I'd be knowing you, though. You know what I mean? Like if you're spending all that time in Parthos?
What? No,
yeah,
it's too many layers.
Me anymore? Oh, is it too meta? Did we get too Facebook for you?
It's Inception.
Yeah.
Too Facebook for me.
Yeah.
Inception is not a good movie.
Whoa. Hot takes coming from Natalie Jean over here.
You heard it from me.
Whoa. All right. Calm down.
With
all the opinions. I mean, please. Don't scare me. I'm the Hind, all right? And the Hind knows that women shouldn't have opinions.
I've been working really hard to rearrange my mind to say the Hind when I'm reading, and not the Hind, because that's what I thought it was for the first year that I read this book.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that sounds scarier.
The Hind.
The Hind, because it makes me think of the Hindenburg.
Yeah, because the Hind just makes me think about my juicy ass. Yeah,
exactly.
But also, you're welcome to think about it.
Makes you just want to kiss her and not be scared of her.
Oh, I want to kiss her. Actually, Adam and I were talking about this morning, would you rather be tortured by someone who's really hot or someone who's really disgusting? Because I feel like at first I was like, I would hate to be tortured by someone this hot. Because the entire time I'd be like, but you're supposed to be kissing me. But I also feel like it's disrespectful to show up all dirty and yucky Because then it's like, as a torturer,
Oh, you want
I
to show
feel like,
like you should show the
yeah,
respect.
you should show respect to me as the person that you're, like, as your canvas
Right.
for your art. And I feel like the Hind, like, what she does is art.
Yeah.
She's very good at torturing.
I mean, she does put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
And I agree. That's tough because same. Like, I think if you're going to a theater, you should dress up. I think if you're going to see a show, you shouldn't show up in a t-shirt and jeans. I think that is disrespectful.
Dress for the occasion.
So I guess if you are a professional torturer, you would at least like press your shirt, you know?
Yeah, like starch a collar.
Yeah.
You want to look
just
crisp.
Nice to do.
So
but that doesn't
you're welcome.
necessarily mean you could still be kind of ugly though and do that.
Oh yeah, you could be busto in the face, but as long as the package is looking good.
Yeah, you want just a roundabout. You
Yeah.
just want like a pleasant image. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. I think I would prefer that over like a leather face.
Yeah, then like a yucko that's like over you.
I feel like you're already going to be in so much chaos in your mind. Like, let's have like a nice structure.
Yeah.
Around us somehow.
Because this is the thing that they don't talk about with torture, which I mean they do at some points. Like in Throne of Glass, they do. There's a lot of time to think. And I feel like you'd really be mulling these things over because you think, Jackie, you're getting tortured. You're not going to be thinking about that. But I feel like all those endless hours in between, you're going to think about that.
There is a lot of torture in Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah. But we're not talking about Throne of Glass. Sorry, everybody.
So we open up, instead of getting back to spicy, steamy scenes with Bryce and Hunt, who have now started their lives together, we're actually opening up on a new character and a new scene, and it's diabolical. We got left on red with their sex scenes.
Yep.
But it's fine.
Yeah, we can handle it.
Yes. We are meeting a bunch of new characters, and the first one we're meeting is a human woman named Sophie Renost.
Also, at first, did I think that maybe there was a book in between? I'd accidentally gotten the wrong book. Yes, I did. So if you also went through that, just know you're not alone.
You do have to pay attention with her books because she'll just go to like do this,
especially when she shifts from perspective to perspective. I feel like in Crescent City 3, she really goes hog wild with that, where you're like, wait, which brain am I in right now?
Yeah,
what is happening right now? Wait.
A lot of people got mad about the third book. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. I found it really captivating, but it's because I was already on board for that.
Yeah, and I think I need to read it again. I think I need to read again.
You can't read that book just one time.
Yeah.
You will lose most of the plot. Like,
yes.
It's so much. But right now, we're meeting this new character named Sophie Renost. We are not in sexy time. We're in danger zone.
Yeah.
And we're not in Crescent City.
No.
That's right. We are outside Lunathion in the prologue. She's used this form of intro in other books, SJM, including a flashback to Rizon's past in A Court of Wings and Ruin, for the prologue to be an entirely different place and time. And she also does it in Empire of Storms and Throne of Glass, where we have a prologue with Elena Galathinius, a character we had only known at that point from ghosts and mythologies and things. But as far as I can remember, this might be the only one of her prologues where we meet an entirely new set of characters in the prologue. And we are with someone named Sophie Renost. We find out immediately that she's a human and is involved in the rebellion, which we've heard about already. If you remember, like Philip Briggs and all the humans like trying to
I remember.
So she is not, we find out immediately, she's not only a human, but she is a human that has made the drop. Now I've heard everything.
Whoa, what? I didn't even know they could. But why did she make the drop?
She had to do it in secret because it's not allowed generally. They are trying to gatekeep dropping, I guess.
Literally, because they had to go to the gate to do it.
At the start of the chapter, we're with her thoughts as she's recalling how she smells special, and it's technically good that it was being masked by the horrors of where she is, which is called the Kavala death camps. A place, it's very dark, a place to hold and torture human rebellion participants, also known as Ophion, which is the rebellion.
And we hate them. And by we, I mean the Hind. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so lost in character right now.
Yeah. You hate Ophion.
Yeah. And I don't like anyone that's special.
No. I don't like anyone being special.
No,
I'm
the only one.
I'm the most special of all.
Everybody loves me. Everybody hates me. But here's the thing. Everybody's talking about me. And that's all
everybody
that
wants
cares
to be with
about.
me.
Yes. Yeah, look at this juicy juice over here. I'm dripping.
Your hind is dripping.
Uh-oh. Get us some toilet paper.
Today, Sophie has one goal. To get to a place called the Port of Servost. So the Servost is the city or town that they're right outside of in the Kavala death camps.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to mention briefly this map of Valbara, which is a map that was commissioned by a reader and then put online because the reader wanted to be able to visualize the bigger world of Valbara.
Where did they request that from?
A map maker. They commissioned it.
Oh, wait. So the map maker had to read the book and then make the map based on the book?
I think either that or the commissioner has to give them all of the important. They probably
like
work
all the
together.
Details? Wow, that's kind of fun. I never even thought about that world. Yeah, and even all authors must have to meet with map makers to make.
Oh yeah,
them.
for
Never
sure.
thought about that before, huh?
See, I'm the same where I want to visualize the map really well. So I wanted to bring it up, and you can find it online. I think also James can probably put it here.
Thanks, James.
Ta-da!
Wow.
Magic. It's the technology of 1982. So
the magic, you mean the technology that we use in this network?
Yes.
Is that how he's going to magic up there? 1982 was a big year for Photoshop.
No. I want to bring back rotoscope. I love it, honestly.
Ooh, okay.
So this map of Valbara was commissioned. It's showing the visualization of the bigger world of Valbara because the other continent is where we actually are right now. We've heard of this other continent, Pangera. So it's actually both continents. And when we heard about Pangera in the first book, it was mostly in relation to Philip Briggs and the Rebellion and where they were. So
it's like, yeah, let's see. I want to see the beyond. And now we get to see the beyond.
Yeah. So on this map, you'll see Pangera is north of Valbara, where Crescent City is. And right now in the prologue, we're in the northern continent, and they're in the southern part of the northern continent on, I haven't talked in a couple weeks, and I'm not doing well.
You're doing a great job. Don't you talk about my friend Natalie like that.
Oh, I'm friends with the hind? That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm a bitch. And let everybody know.
Okay, I'll tell everybody.
I'll never be nice to you again.
Oh.
Sorry, that's my friendship. I seduce you with my honey, and then I spike you with my barbs.
That's very stressful.
Yeah, I'm difficult to be friends with.
Oh, okay. Well.
Surprise.
Pangera is the northern continent, but the Kavala and the Servost town that they're in the prologue right now is in the sort of southern west part of the continent.
You're doing a very good job with all the made-up words. You're doing
you.
a very good job with it. And I think that, this is great to see where Avalon is as well. And to remind myself that it is an island that is amongst the continent.
Yeah, totally. And then the map maker, I don't know what their name is, but IRSA is the corner. So just shout out to them.
Make me a map. How do they not only sing that to the map maker?
They might.
I guess they call them like Monsignor Cartographer.
That's cool. I don't know how you become a map maker, but that's cool. It's a cool job.
Yeah.
So we're in Pangera in the prologue on the southern coast, and Sophie is planning a dangerous escape from these death camps. She is glad that the wolf guards have not been able to smell her veneer-like qualities because she will be able to use it to her advantage. Element of surprise and all. And she's not on her own. She has a mission, and it's to steal children. Well, steal back children, because they've been stolen.
They've been stolen.
So when we first arrive with her, she is in the midst of this mission that she's on. Her brother, who's a boy named Emil, is among these children. And we learn that he had been separated from her when their rebel parents had been caught and killed.
If Henry were stolen as a child, I wouldn't have gone to get him.
Well, you were technically the younger sibling.
So it would have been his job to go get me. I don't know if he would have come and gotten me. either.
Well, okay, but
I guess it would depend on if, like, I had any kind of, like, veneer-like qualities or something like that.
yeah, and there would probably be, like, a lot of other things going on for him to have to figure that out,
Are you trying to say that I wasn't good enough to get stolen as a child?
No, I mean more that none of us are. Nobody wants human, like,
Yeah.
we're not interesting like veneer or
No,
whatever.
I'd understand if you, like, stole, like, I don't know, a baby moose. And it's like, oh, I'm going to
Aw.
raise this moose to think that it's my kid. I'm going to put it in a bunk bed.
I think moose are really dangerous.
Yeah, that's what, like, I've heard. Oh, but also this moose probably will like me. And it probably won't thrash me to death.
It's going to get real big.
How good would my moose impressions get, though?
Probably pretty good.
Yeah.
You and Joey Gladstone.
Me, and then it's like, I'll have 2 beavers. Oh, what am I in? One of my pants? Come on. What?
Oh my God.
What?
Oh,
Everybody
that
loves.
is not a Joey Gladstone approved joke.
No, no. They would have cut it for Full House.
Don't do it. I thought you were going to do it.
What?
You're gonna do cut it out.
Yeah.
Never mind. Let's focus. So her brother Emil. So Sophie is in her seemingly early 20s. Emil is much younger than her at 13. So there's also that element too,
Right.
where there's a big age gap.
Yes.
So they were separated from one another when their parents were killed by the Imperial Army. She had been on the run since then until she allowed herself to be caught. So we're with her 3 years after her parents were killed. And while we don't know her age here, she recalls being in university at the time the parents were killed. So we're presuming early to mid-20s.
Okay.
Her brother's 13. Her thoughts as she's corralling these children from the camps are about her work with Ophion. And she describes it as mutually beneficial, though she doesn't really think of loyalty to their cause per se.
She's loyalty to her brother.
Yes. And I think it's an apt description of the muddled nature of the greater good that's going on here and how it's rarely neat and tidy. So obviously, like,
it's
Ophion,
rarely good and bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Ophion is they have a cause that's important and they are technically on the right side of things. But
sometimes those tactics
yeah,
are not the best.
And
I know these things now because I've been learning Star Wars and I was trying. I have always said I hate Star Wars, and so I'm trying, but then Jeff found out that I had never really watched any of the movies or like tried. And so he's like, he's like, it is huge for a reason. And I then started I'm likening Crescent City to, and I'm like, okay, you want to do this? And I'm like, all right, I think then you got to read my books because I think that you would like it because technically I just watched all of Andor. It's kind of what Andor is doing.
Sure.
So, and like, I kind of explained the second book as like, kind of like an Andor, even though everyone that has read and knows both is like, Jackie, you're incorrect. But go with me, right? We want to fuck Andor. We want to fuck everybody in this book. And that's the only relationship you need. I mean,
every story, every epic story is kind of the same, along the same lines generally.
Yeah.
Since like the Odyssey.
Yeah, but which is, it's wonderful though.
Oh yeah, I love it. Please. How are you liking the Star Warses?
I'm liking it because Jeff is not a die-hard Star Wars. Like he is, like whenever we get the question at cons a lot, are you a Star Wars or are you a Star Trek? And he says he's a Dune. So usually it's like if he had to pick, he's a Dune.
Yeah.
So I like hearing all about it from someone that appreciates it, knows that like 60% of it is horrible, and explains it in the way of like, there are certain things that you kind of have to watch, but certain things like I liked Andor, so I watched Rogue One, and he like explained all of that to me, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll watch the first one, which is not the first one, it's like the fourth one or whatever, but like,
yeah,
I guess I'll watch it. And he is right. He's like, you like fantasy, you like the world building, so I think that if you just watch the good parts of it, you will also appreciate it.
Sure.
And he is right.
I don't. Oh God, I'm gonna get people are gonna get mad. I don't hate them. I find them. I'm indifferent. I feel neutral about that.
I think we're okay I think it's okay.
I'm a Spaceballs girl.
You're a spaceball. You know, I understand, and I'm a smut bitch. So it's just in my head, like I liked Andor because there wasn't fucking in it, but you could tell Andor and the other characters were sexual people. I just hate, like in the world of Marvel, where it's like, none of these people, they're good people. They've never had a sexual thought in their life. I hate it.
I'm not into any
Sexless bullshit. Like, I can't. Humanity is laced with sexuality in some fashion, in some part of the spectrum, even if it is that you hate sex and you have nothing to do with sex. That is a part of the spectrum of it. I'm sorry.
No, we must continue forward. She doesn't have warm feelings towards a rebel commander, a woman named Pipa.
Pipa. You're Pipa. Pipa Pig. I thought you were making a reference to Peppa Pig, and I thought you wanted me to say it more Australian. Pipa.
I didn't even know that was an Australian.
I don't know if it is. I just did the Pippa. I think they say Pippa. Did I make that up?
Sure? Well, I think
I'm not sure.
Bluey's Australian.
I'm not sure.
Oh God, is Bluey Kiwi? Fuck.
I'm not sure,
oh, man.
bro.
We're alienating the entire
planet. It's just British. It's British. I'm sorry.
Is Bluey Australian or New Zealand?
Let's look it up. You know what? We're allowed to not know because we don't have children, and that is Australian.
Okay.
Australian British. All right.
Got it.
I'm glad we figured it all out, though.
Yeah, now we've got it all figured. Okay, so yes, she has these mixed feelings about Ophion. She believes in the cause technically, but doesn't necessarily agree with what's happening, and she thinks some of them are not very good people. She doesn't have warm feelings towards a rebel commander, a woman named Pipa. She worked for her doing unspeakable tasks in exchange for information about her brother and where to find him. So she basically offered herself up to Ophion at being like, I have these special powers. Can you help me find my brother? And instead of helping her, they're like, yeah, we can't. We'll help you if you do all of these favors for us. And so she's been.
It's like the Hunt situation. You know, it is. Yeah. It's very similar to that, which does make sense because, like you said, it's not black and white.
Yeah,
it's hazy.
Yeah, and so Pippa and a lot of the people in the movement are loyal to the movement over the actual people, which is kind of like counterintuitive because you're doing it to free the humans, but you're also willing to like sacrifice a bunch of them. So that's like a lot of things to think about. I think I think that needs to be more in like a philosophy class.
But I feel like, I think that's like a lot of rebellions or something. Here, like word on the street is, they got to do some bad stuff to get other stuff done.
Yeah.
It's just, as the Hind, I understand that, but as Jackie, like, it's like, don't do that.
Yeah, it's like,
but also it's good. Like, we do need that.
Hey, don't.
Somebody's got to do it. I'm glad it's not me.
Hey,
Jackie, but the Hind, yeah.
Don't do it. Hey,
please, guys,
don't
kill other people.
Did that help?
Yep, that did it. Wow, we just saved humanity.
Wow, nobody had thought of that before, to just say that. So when she brought her power to them, they had her do all these things, and they know of her powers and work with her to use them, but she's only doing this to save her brother at the end of the day. We learn from Sophie's reflections that she brought fake rebel paperwork with her to get, quote unquote, caught into this death camp as an Ophion mission. But she had also had some mystery pieces of information that could change the course of war. So she's doing this sort of like, she's doing a mission for Ophion, but also she's doing this side thing to get her brother, and it's against their orders. And so now they're pissed. She's pissed everyone off.
I just feel like think of the anxiety. Like, it's hard enough to have a to-do list, but like to have to like get yourself put into a death camp.
Yeah.
And you're like, I gotta do again. That's why I hate to just think about my siblingship and think about how little we would be willing to go through.
Well, again,
to save each other.
Again, most people couldn't do this generally. And also, the age gap is a whole thing.
Yes, and also like Henry's not a Thunderbird.
Like,
I
had
get
like
it.
a minor kid, you'd probably go knowing you were going to die to try to help them.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Oh.
So basically, Sophie is playing both sides, and she is, of course, much more aligned with the rebels because she's a human, but she's kind of playing them both. During her couple weeks at this horrible camp, She's kept an eye out for her brother until one day she spots him, and that night sneaks into his bunk to help him escape. Her plan to get him out begins there, and doing so, she realizes she can't leave these other children who are in this cabin with him. And instead of just taking him in the night, she ends up escaping with 12 kids.
Girl, I feel you, and I love this for you, but also think about getting away with it.
Well, it's hard because you would have to make this choice.
Because all the kids are crying, going like, where, save me.
I just realized that.
Is that hard?
I just realized that her name's Sophie, and she had to do Sophie's choice.
Oh,
I wonder if that's intentional.
Wow.
Because the choice would have to be, the kids are at more risk of immediately dying if you take them out. But if you leave them there, they're probably going to die slowly. So it's a Sophie's choice. She decides to take the kids with her. We know that Sophie is weary as she shuffles the children through the dark. This is where we find her at the beginning of the prologue. She's been tortured for weeks at this point. Her nails got pulled out. She was beaten.
I just would be so bad at being tortured. Never tell me anything that can get tortured out of me. It will. They won't even get to the torture. They just have to take something out and be like, okay, whatever you want to know. I'll tell you. I'll spill.
That's why I don't tell you any of my government secrets.
Tell me nothing. Never, ever tell me anything.
Through the interrogations, she had fooled the Dreadwolves that she was just a simple human with no rebel affiliation and was thrown into the fold of the camp. So that was sort of the Ophion side of the plan, and that's how she ended up getting here. But she is no ordinary human, as we are learning. In the present time, in the dark of night, as she approaches the perimeter of the camps, and it's like a metal fence, we learn a little about her rare powers. Her hands somehow consume the electricity going through the fence.
Cool.
So she sucks it into her body, and she's almost able to harness it, which is pretty rock and roll.
Yeah.
She then uses the electricity to blow a hole through the grating, so she kind of uses it on the gate itself. The fence kind of rips a hole open that they can get through, and of course it messes with all the alerts, and so security immediately knows.
Oh.
And she needs to get those kids through that hole as quickly as possible. She runs with them through the nearby field towards the road, towards the port, where hopefully the Sun Priest and another rebel agent she had already been in cahoots with, who were in on the plan, will be waiting for her as they had planned together. It's a lot already.
It's just
you guys keep
so much. It's so much. And also, I know in this world they do have phones and ways to contact each other. But just think of how many of these experiences where there's no way to contact, and you just gotta hope that somebody's there.
Well, they also mention using their magic in different ways to
connect,
do signaling with one another. So the wolves, not dire wolves, I keep doing that. The Dreadwolves. Different.
Yes.
The Dreadwolves are the bad guys who are running the camps, and they can go between wolves in human form, and they're right now as they're starting to chase her in human form because that's how they can hold a gun. Although a wolf holding a gun would be kind of cute.
Aww. That I guess you'd strap it to his back and then kind of use him as like a sniper hold.
Yeah, but they're sentient wolves, so maybe they could use
their snout.
Maybe they have a little bite piece and they go.
Oh, yeah. And so every time they bark, it shoots guns.
I think this maybe is not a super thought out plan that I've just come up with.
I thought it was great. I think it's a great idea.
You
always trust a dog, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's shooting me.
Yes. So
these are the spies we need.
Yes, that's the spies we need. So,
imagine Carmi as a spy. She'd only spy for food.
Yeah, she wouldn't be very good at doing diabolical plans.
No.
So, whatever she can do, whatever Sophie's skills or gifts are, affects both electricity and first light.
Cool.
Because as they're getting chased, the kids are running. The Dreadwolves.
You even said it right, but then tried to.
The Dreadwolves are in human form, chasing them down, and she turns and she whips her arm, and it kills all the flashlights in the same moment.
Whoa!
So she basically can suck out lights with her hands. And so they're all left in the complete and utter darkness, which gives them enough time to get away to cross the street and get to an awaiting van where a rebel agent named Agent Silverbow is prepared to take them. Of course, he only thought it was going to be her and her brother. Now there's 12 children, but
gotta save the kids.
He's got a van. They can get in there.
They'll be fine.
Though in her thought, she's thinking about how she's never allowed him to tell her his real name because they don't want to like compromise each other.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell through the context of these pages that Agent Silverbow and Sophie mean something special to one another, even seemingly have been physically involved. Sophie thinks she knows who he really is, but we, the reader, don't get that info at this point in the book. So, I would be the same. If I was in this like situation, you bet I'd be trying to have sex. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Gotta have some distraction from it.
It has to keep the rebellion going. We have to have hope, and part of hope is having sex.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, if you're not interested in sex, oftentimes it is a big signifier of...
If you're not asexual.
If you don't identify as asexual or, going through a trauma or something like that, but that usually it is a good first indicator of there's something might be wrong with your health.
Are you losing... hope or motivation or something like that. So
that's what I'm saying. Drum it up. Get a little bit of sex going.
Got to. And it seems like Agent Silverbow and Sophie caught feelings. But you can't have feelings in the rebellion.
There's no space for feelings.
Sophie and Agent Silverbow hustle the children into the awaiting van, get them all inside, and speed off into the night towards the port. 30 minutes later, they're there. Agent Silverbow, whom Sophie calls Silver, so they've been.
Oh, they've been intimate.
Oh, Silver. So
it's got to be crazy, fucking somebody that you don't know the real identity of, and the fact that you don't know what their real identity is. That's got to be nuts.
Yeah, but
right?
I think because their world is thrown into so much chaos in the first place, it's probably doesn't even feel
not even
weird.
The weirdest thing. Yeah, I guess.
But if you're not in the middle of a rebellion thing and somebody says they can't tell you their first name, probably they are not telling
an international spy from the movies Fast and the Furious. Yeah, and you should go with them because they care about family.
Oh,
and
okay. Jackie's giving different advice.
Yes,
tonight. Okay.
No, I say you go with it. I think this is good. I think that we should always be scared of the mystery of your partner, and that really is the foundation of.
Just never know what's going to set them off.
No, never know when they're going to come home. Never know where they go during the day.
Oh God, that sounds great. So,
because what if they're doing great things?
Yeah,
and then they're humble.
That's probably what's happening.
Yeah.
So Sophie knows that not only do they have to contend with the dread wolves, but they see as they pull up. Well, they don't see. Silver comes over to Sophie and tells her quietly that the Hind is near, that he can sense her with his magics.
Oh, yeah.
So now she doesn't have to only contend with her squad of terror, the Hinds, but now that Silver has assisted Sophie and gone against Ophion directives, that Pipa, the woman from Ophion, will be chasing Silver down, calling for his head. So now everybody's pissed at these two for trying to save some children.
I just gotta save these kids.
Jeez Louise. So Pipa and Sophie, by the way, as a reminder, are human or past for them, and Silver is not, as far as we can tell. Silver is some form of veneer. We don't know much about him yet. So have we met him already? I don't know.
We don't know.
Though she doesn't think favorably again of Pipa and alludes to her having gone maybe a little bit cuckoo in the pursuit of
the cause.
The cause.
I mean, that's how could you not?
Yeah. She does feel as though she's going through her thoughts, and Sophie understands Pippa's behavior maybe more than Silver does, who has clashed with Pipa regularly because even though Silver's obviously on the right side of history, he is still a veneer, and humans are just treated like trash.
Right.
And he's never had to go through that experience. So he'll never truly know the suffering. But they have more pressing concerns at the moment, with the wolf guards actively seeking them out right now. They have scant few moments. She's relieved to see that the boat from the rebels is waiting for them Well, the one that at least that was helping her out. So the Sun Priest is also going against Ophion rules by even waiting for this boat, but it's there. And she said, okay, our next step is in place. And Pipa and the command also kind of know what's going on. It's kind of muddled in this prologue, but
well, because so much is happening at once that you're just kind of following and knowing whatever Sophie knows.
Yeah. So there is a bunch of underhanded things going on, but they're not really underhanded because she's just trying to save children. But the boat basically that's supposed to take them away back to Ophion has arrived to the port, which is good sign. But it may be too late, unfortunately. Silver grips Sophie and tells her very grave news. The wolves have arrived and are scenting them now.
Oh.
He can hear them before her from his veneer hearing. Sophie realizes in this moment she must stay behind in order to give the kids a fighting chance to escape.
Oh, man. God, she just throws you right into this.
She really does.
Whew.
So we're in the third act of a different movie happening right now. So leaving no room for argument, she tells Silver to take the kids to the boat and go. She's going to head the wolves off. Though there is anguish in Silver's eyes, he knows he has no time to argue, that they must just act. Emil protests, saying he wants his sister to come, but Sophie just pulls him into a hug and promises that she will find him again.
When she embraced his lanky, bony body, she let herself inhale one breath of his scent, the one that lay beneath the acrid layers of dirt and waste from the camp. Then Emil staggered away, half tripping over himself as he marked the lingering power building at her fingertips. But her brother said softly,
"Make them pay." So she will. Sophie and Silver make eye contact one last time, and then he corrals the children onto the awaiting boat. Sophie turns and sees the military trucks barreling down on her and sees at the front, at the helm, the Hind.
"Oh, there I am."
Smiling and maniacally calm, being hot. She reminds me of this very niche exploitation character who this is a little non-PC, but it was part of a series in the Grindhouse era in the 70s called Ilsa the She-Wolf of the SS.
Ooh.
It was this very beautiful blonde woman, and she, as the title states, is in this sort of like Grindhouse exploitation world where she's being shown as the bad guy, but it's also like sexy and it's like, people have found it very distasteful, but it was very popular in the world. You have to be really into that kind of exploitation movie. It's not my favorite kind of Grindhouse, but the character, the actress herself is great, and I actually met her in 2016.
Hell yeah.
She's passed away since then, but she reminds me a bit of that Grindhouse energy of this like sexy,
thank you,
sort of like scary military woman.
Yeah, it's just me. It's just, yeah.
Hind. So she's like a sexpot, evil military monster lady.
Sophie instantly spied the golden-haired female lounging in the front of the military convertible. A silver torque glimmered against her neck.
Okay, I had such a hard time visualizing this adornment.
Her adornment?
We get more descriptions of them later in the chapter, so my take, because I have my Hind costume kind of together, but my take is probably not super accurate.
Yeah.
I finally actually looked it up to see if a torque necklace was a real world thing, and it is.
Okay, what is it?
So torques were worn. This is a fashion thing that I'm doing sidebar. Torques were worn by cultures of the European Iron Age from around the 8th century BC until the 3rd century AD, including the culture known as the Illyrians. Yeah. So there was an Illyrians culture in ancient humanity.
Viking torques?
So it's usually the torque in historical context would identify someone of a high-ranking position and were originally only worn by females. I guess maybe along the same lines as a crown, but
it does look like a crown for your neck.
Yeah, because it's like a thing that goes around your neck that's usually open in the front.
In the front. Yeah, it looks like a headband. Honestly,
Yeah.
it looks like a headband that you put on the back of your neck around your neck.
Yeah, or like the way you would wear like headphones around your neck.
Yes, yeah.
But it's made of, a high, precious metal or whatever. And so it's not technically a military-based thing. Most of the time it's like a royal-based thing, but this is the thing that is being worn around the hind's neck. And so, yeah, that is kind of like part of the cosplay. I know you guys were interested. So Sophie recognizes Hind to be a deer shifter, which we learned briefly in the first book, but obviously we're supposed to be reminded here. The Hind is a deer shifter. Sophie begins to run far in the opposite direction from the boats. So they've spotted Sophie, and she's like taking them away from where the kids have gotten onto this boat so the boat can leave. And it's basically the Dreadwolves start following her into the town of Servast where the port is. And she's leading them into the quiet streets of the town in an attempt to confuse them, which seems like you shouldn't probably lead them to like more
people,
civilians. But,
yeah.
There's a lot going on right now. As she's running through the town square, she sees like a big decorative fountain, and she uses her power to explode it. And the water goes everywhere.
Pretty cool.
And yeah, just like covers the entire square in like an inch of water. And this is where I got confused about the Hind's collar, I think, because, well, here, just read this part.
The wolves in human forms wore imperial uniforms. Tiny silver darts glimmered along their collars. A dart for every rebel spy broken. Her stomach flipped. Only one type of dreadwolf had those silver darts. The Hind's private guard. The most elite of the shifters.
So there's her torque, and then they also have collars with silver darts on them. Those are two different things. Different. But anyway, that's not important in the scene. I know their fashion is not necessarily indicative of importance.
We love the fashion talk.
So she has exploded this fountain, and all the Dreadwolves are running towards her, and Sophie is weary and broken, but she is determined to fuck their day up.
Fuck yeah, bitch.
She jumps up on the lip of the broken fountain. They don't know what she is, you see, and it's too late. They run into the square that's covered in an inch of water. Power starts to surge from her fingertips. She's a fucking Thunderbird,
the wolf roared, just as Sophie unleashed the power she'd gathered on the water flooding the square, on the Dreadwolves standing ankle deep in it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You're getting fried wolves.
Yeah.
More
Put
like
them on the ball, man.
More like dead wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, Natalie.
It's not good.
Yeah, dead wolves.
Not all of the Dreadwolves were in the square, but a chunk of the Hind's elite are now wolf steaks.
Dead.
I wrote wolf steaks, and then I grossed myself out.
Although, I imagine they're delicious to eat.
Oh, God.
They gotta be tasty.
Don't do it.
Full of muscle. They gotta be tasty.
No, they're too close to dogs. As she runs,
but they're so much meaner. You have to eat a wolf.
They're smart.
If it attacks you and you have to take it down with just a knife.
You have to just chew on them.
Yeah, you have to. It's the respect. Again, all comes back to the respect.
Got it. So she reveals in her thoughts that, yes, they are correct. She is part Thunderbird, but they think she's a full Thunderbird. She's not. It was her great-grandmother who had a thing for human men, apparently. And so she's a couple generations removed from her Thunderbird upbringing.
I want to be a Thunderbird.
I agree.
Maybe that's like, rather than like being scared of, developing schizophrenia late in life, what if like all of a sudden you became a Thunderbird?
I mean, I would love to throw out that option to
Will
God.
I wake up as a Thunderbird, Natalie, is what I'm asking you.
I hope so.
If I light a candle, manifest. Natalie.
Yeah, sure.
Can I manifest?
I say that's not going to be presenting as mental illness if you do that. I think you should just healthily do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I identify as part of a Thunderbird. Just the feet.
Can you shoot lightning out of it?
Yeah.
Your toes?
I got fire toes.
Fire toes.
Pew, 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 pew.
It was her great-grandmother, and so because it was that many generations removed, that's probably how she could present as a plain old Borosnoro human. Unfortunately, this is also why she's prized by the rebellion, because she can present as just a human. And really is kind of just being treated more like a weapon than a person.
Yes.
War is hell, everyone.
Ugh.
Even the good guys aren't really good. She's not sure how her grandmother survived the Asteri extinction of thunderbirds, but she had managed to stay alive when they had hunted them down centuries ago. So the Asteri had tried to eliminate thunderbirds from society because apparently they're too powerful.
It's like, just be friends with them, you know? Like, you could just
The Asteri don't make friends.
No, they don't.
And much like Bryce, Sophie had hidden her lineage until the day came that she needed to survive, to find her brother, and offered it up as a bargaining chip to the rebellion. So both Bryce and Sophie were living amongst the humans, trying to hide that they had magic. Instead of Ophion helping Sophie locate him, they held information over her, forcing her to complete missions for bits of knowledge. But those pieces came at a great cost, and she doesn't know how to live with the trauma of killing so many in the name of the greater good. As we're getting her backstory through her memories, she is barreling back towards the docks in the hopes that she can make it to the boat before it's too far out to sea. The Sun Priest who was manning the boat and Agent Silverbow got the directive to start moving the boat when she was misdirecting the Dreadwolves, and so that's what they're doing. But they're trying to go slow enough that she can catch it as it leaves the port.
But you also have to get the kids out of there.
Yep, and sometimes you have to make a Sophie's choice.
Oh my God.
Every second is a chasm as she nears the retreating escape boat. She spies Silver on the dock looking at her and wonders why he's not helping pull her up with his magic. But she quickly realizes why. He's been shot with a Gorzian bullet. It doesn't look like a fatal hit, but he's holding his shoulder, and because it's Gorzian, his powers are now useless.
Oh.
She turns back towards the shore and sees the Hind lazily watching her from the vehicle. The Hind's right-hand man aiming a rifle at Sophie.
I'm just like a big, sexy, evil cat.
Well, 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 Sophie. It looks like you have nowhere else to go.
But look at how hot I am, and how slowly or how quickly I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, I didn't like how that ended.
Well, she always talks like this, don't you know, Natalie?
Is that what you're going to do?
Yes,
Okay.
and even though I talk like this, it doesn't mean that I can't strip your skin off of your body.
Man, that would creep me out
I would
so
not care
much
for that.
more than of somebody like barking at me. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't like
Don't
that.
give me the Betty Boop.
Please, no. Yeah, it's very,
And give me the Betty
very
Scoop.
Firefly. What are they called? The House of Thousand Corpses people.
Oh yeah, the family. Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
So she is caught. Silver watches this all play out, and he had dropped a rope off the side of the boat as it's trailing away in order for her to try to like jump in and catch the rope, and then the ship can pull them all away. But she is just not close enough to jump without getting shot. She tries anyway.
Good
Because
for
like
you,
really,
bitch.
what are you
gonna do?
Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Her leg is shattered with a Gorzian bullet. Stunned, she collapses to the dock's floor, but still manages to hear Silver scream as the boat retreats into the darkness and fog, leaving her at the dock. As she looks up from where she's collapsed face down in agony, she sees with a broken heart that Imperial submarines have converged on the escape boat with all the kids inside.
Oh, good. So, good.
was
So it
all-
wasn't worth.
None of it is
Oh,
worth
okay.
it, yeah.
Good. Yeah, I just want to make sure.
Or well, maybe we don't know. We cut to another character we've only heard through tales. We're with Pipa Spetsos.
Do you think if Pippa dyed her hair, maybe she would, like, maybe her big issue was that she doesn't like her hair the way you didn't like your hair? And maybe we could offer to her, dye it? Like, maybe dye your hair and maybe you won't be so pissy anymore?
If I hadn't started dyeing my hair at 12, who knows what would have happened.
You'd just be a pissy Pippi over here.
I'd be leading some kind of army.
Obviously.
Hopefully for a good.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope you would only ever use your strength for good, Natalie. But we would all understand if you just got too powerful that you had to be evil.
Thanks.
And we'll all follow you.
Thank you. I'll try not to do something bad.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll have to workshop it. So we're with Pipa's Spetsos now. And it's just this, it's like moments after we were just with Sophie. So Pipa is also at the scene here. We're with her thoughts as she is on the awaiting end, waiting for this escape boat. So she's on their own boat. She's on a rebel ship called the Orero. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Deep into the Haldron Sea. So she's offshore in this rebellion boat, waiting for the boat with the children, and they're going to come take them all up. But she really just wants Emil. She doesn't care about saving these kids.
No.
I don't know that we ever get Pipa's age, but for some reason I always think of her as younger. I don't know why. I don't know if there's context clues or just the Pipa sounds like a kid's name to me, but I always assume she's like in her 20s. But I don't think
Pippi Longstocking. Is it
probably?
I think it is because of Pippi Longstocking, which same. I also feel that way, even though Pipa is not even the same name. Is it just because she's headstrong that you feel like she's so young?
Maybe like she's a little. She doesn't necessarily use reason all the time. She goes off emotions a
and
lot.
I think that there is something about, like, I feel like if you were older working in a rebellion, you have more rationality. Like, I feel like to make it that long, that like anybody in charge at that point, like I feel like you have to make more like less rash decisions. And I feel like Pippa does make a lot of like, girl, you're just like, it's like she thinks she's like, I'm 20 steps ahead, but she never quite is.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of like manic energy.
Yes, yeah. Which I imagine you kind of have to if you're running a rebellion from multiple fronts and like in all different ways, that you're going to have leaders of all kinds.
I guess.
Because, like, I mean, not to be like this, but it makes me think of Forrest Whitaker's role in Andor, which is like he is more of a radical in the world of the rebellion. It's like that there are just different parts of it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I think to lead some of these things, you have to be a little bit insane. Like, that's how I feel about any high-ranking politicians. I feel like if you get to that point, I don't trust you.
To want to have that level of power, I think you have to be, like, in some fashion,
insane.
Kind of crazy, right?
So, anyway, she is in her armor. Wait. Oh, yeah. I painted the sigil on it.
I'm sorry, Natalie did show me the sigil earlier and said, do you know who I am? And I said, no. And I apologize to you, Natalie.
It's not there's not a lot of characters to dress up as in the prologue. And there aren't any drawings of the sigil. It's only described. So I used my imagination.
I loved that.
Thank you.
But I don't, I am happy that you weren't upset with me for not knowing who you were, because
that would be kind of
it would be so weird all of a sudden. Like, oh, well, then I'm not going to talk to you for the rest of the day.
Well, I'm not going to read the episode.
Natalie,
should I get real diva and just go into the our very not fancy waiting room here and just refuse to come out?
Here's the thing, Natalie. If you did do that, you know that I would bend to your will no matter what you wanted. I'm going to say it's my easy button. You just saying, I won't do it. I'm like, okay, well then whatever you want me to do, I will be. And that's called people-pleasing 101.
But then you start to harbor secret resentment against me, and I hate that.
Yeah, and I don't right now harbor one.
Oh,
but
good.
I'll let you know.
Thank you.
I'll let you know second by second how I feel.
I would much prefer that. I hate building up things like that. I fucking hate it in friendships. I hate it in romantic relationships. I do not want to play games with you. No. Please just tell me. I don't always understand if I'm doing something bad. Just tell me.
Just tell me.
Please.
I am an over communicator. I like that I wear, sometimes it's very annoying that I wear my emotions on my sleeve, but it's also kind of great because you always know if I'm upset.
Much prefer it. I don't want you to be secretly angry with me. That is like a nightmare.
I can't be. I have to be outwardly angry.
It's literally anxiety 101 for me. I just can't handle it. So We're with Pipa. Pipa doesn't care if you're mad at her.
Nope.
That's for sure.
Nope.
So she is watching with rapt attention as the rescue ship heads towards them.
I know, it's kind of fun, though, because it is like these two, honestly, like looking at the two of us as badass fucking scary fucking bitches running two separate ends of this, both staring at it as it's happening in just like a stern. Oh, I love that we both dressed up as that. This is great.
We're both angry at those children.
Angry at those kids, and we don't give a fuck if they die.
No, they really don't.
But we need a meal.
We need a meal. I gather from where they float, they are concealed by night, but close enough that they're not that far from the port of Servost, because as we cut over to Pipa, it's like in the moments following where we just were with Sophie. And she can see the ship in the shore from like far away. So her thoughts are pretty cold as we're in with this little section with her, and concerned only with acquiring Sophie back as well as her brother. It seems like her humanity has long since evaporated trying to destroy the Asteri, ironically. She is angry with Sophie.
Oh, yeah. Who's the human that did die? The one that lived inside of her.
Makes you think.
Makes you think.
That was Linda just pure coming out of it.
Yeah. I think I love this wig.
It's great. You look really cute.
I want my hair to be exactly like this.
It's a good look on you.
Thank you.
This color of blonde is a good warm color on you.
Is that what it is? Is it warmth?
I think
is that
so.
where it's like, what is the level
It's
of
got a golden
hue to it? Yeah.
So she does want Sophie back, and she obviously wants Emil, but she's really angry with Sophie for doing a secret side quest. She wants to punish her, but is mostly concerned with reattaining her.
Like she's an object.
Yes, that's how she's thinking about her. The captain of this ship approaches Pipa with some reports as they are able to communicate via radio with the approaching rescue ship. He informs her that Sophie has not, in fact, made it onto the rescue ship. Incensed, Pipa merely asks if the brother has made it, and the captain confirms yes. She ignores the news about the other children that are on board because she doesn't care. She is angry.
But right now, Emil had made it to the ship. Was gaining him worth losing Sophie?
So it's a bit of an ouch because she's just looking at them as like different chips to move around. And so she's not concerned if Sophie was killed or if these kids are important in any way. She doesn't care.
Nope.
She wants Emil, and it's because Sophie has already told her that Emil's power is even greater than her own.
But I want him too, bitch. You have to fucking go through me.
Does she know? Does the Hind know about Emil's power?
I don't know.
Or
only knows. I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Because they were just having him in that camp, but maybe they know and they're just...
This is the thing.
So just then, as another sailor rushes towards them, informing them that the rescue boat has in the Imperial submarines after it, just like Sophie had just seen in the previous section. And it looks like they're planning on sinking the rescue ship rather than letting those children escape.
Good.
Yeah, thank God.
I mean, I'm like, oh, where are the kids going to go? You know what I mean?
Who has time to schedule that?
I'm sorry. It's just the Hind is like in my soul now. And I'm going to have to tell Jeff that he's married to a bitch now.
Yep.
And watch as he feigns surprise like he wasn't always.
Oh,
new?
Wow.
You still?
Pipa at least has the decency, and when she hears the news that they're planning on sinking the ship rather than letting the children escape, Pipa at least has the decency left inside of her to feel a little bit of dread at the cruelty of that act.
Just a second of it, though.
Like she goes, oh.
Well, let's
we gotta get a meal. They prepare to charge the submarines to give the escape boat a chance, but then they are all shocked to see lights flicker out through all of the port city at the shore.
Uh-oh.
Wait
a second.
The entire city of Servost goes black.
Okay.
They gasp as they see a great beam of light reach out to one of the subs under the water. Miles of light. And when it retreats, all of the sub's lights are gone as well. It's like the inverse of Bryce's power. Like causes darkness to leash out instead of light.
Yeah.
Pippa wonders if it's Sophie and her brother working in tandem, as the other 3 submarines lose all of their lights as well. Because no matter how strong Sophie is, this is a grand feat. They watch stunned as that last sub gets 2 torpedoes out before the darkness settles in on it. And even more lights lighting up all of the waves in front of them stretch out and consume the torpedoes before they hit the rescue boat. Woo!
There's a lot of big power working right now.
Yes. It's almost like that's why Sophie's so vital.
Whoa.
Then we cut back to that basically same moment with Sophie bleeding out on the dock. She's not only now bleeding out, but her body has been wrecked by the immense exertion it took to blow up those torpedoes. When we return her, her fingers are dangling in the water, basically allowing her power to shoot through the water, which seems like it would electrocute a lot of things, but I don't know how magic works.
It's like, it's a focused beam. Like, she's beaming. It's fine.
That's true, because Aelin can control the heat of her fire.
Right.
That's very
So
true.
I imagine she has that control, but also, though, in that, like, using, like, the last bits of power, though, how much control could she have? I don't know. I mean, not enough to kill everybody, at least.
Not kill everybody. But now that she's done this huge feat, she is drained of her power entirely. And it will be too long to come back to help her here. She sees military boots approaching her and looks up to see the cruel hind standing over her.
Is the sound she would make. And imagine just being so drained, being like, okay.
I guess.
All right, are you intimidating me at this point? Are
you just trying to annoy me?
Yeah, a little bit. I guess I'm like drawing it out, but also I'm like, I don't know what, like, I want your last, like, I don't,
moments,
be like, I want to be scary.
She's coolly, in a way only a villain can react. She marvels at Sophie's power and how easily she took out all of her dreadwolves, because she did the evil thing being like, well, my dreadwolves are all dead. Isn't that fascinating?
I mean, power does respect power. You know?
Sure.
I'm able to see when somebody else is powerful.
Yeah. I mean, fair. In a hauntingly gentle voice, she offers to let Sophie alone on this pier, leave her alive, if she will inform her who Sophie gave this mystery, obviously important intel to. Of course, Sophie won't give it up. So the hind tells her, okay, well then I guess we're going to go for a ride.
Going for a ride.
Sophie is carried to
I'm sorry.
Going for a ride.
Don't worry, I'll forget after this episode.
Such a sexy voice. Sophie is carried to a small boat by the remaining dreadwolves, and she, the hind, and the ones carrying her drive for hours out into the middle of the deep ocean.
God, and all of that too. And you're like, an hour road trip, and we don't even have snacks.
Mm-mm.
And she's just gonna sit back there, and it sucks.
It'd be nice if you gave them at least a snack. Again, just like a little bit of courtesy.
Yeah.
Just give them a snack, like a juice box and some crackers.
Isn't that great? He like gives them more life for you to
For you
take
torture.
away.
Yeah, exactly. So they cut the engine out. Now they're in the middle of nowhere. No one can hear you scream. Unfortunately, that sucks. The Imperialists let down some kind of hatch on this boat so that the boat basically has a plank on the side of it that like walks into the water. Sophie watches as the hind pulls a white rock out of her pocket and drops it into the water, seeming to show Sophie just how far a drop it is to the bottom. Which like, it's the ocean. You didn't really know.
I feel like she really, but also she's a bitch.
Yeah.
So she's got to do that.
She
but I
likes
feel like
theater.
it's like, all right, yeah, I get it. But again, yeah, this is her. Like, let her cook. This is her space to
is her
shine. You know,
moment.
this is where she wants to pull out a rock. Pull out a rock. Who knows what else she's got in her handy dandy pockets?
Who knows?
And it's
that's
like
part of the art of it being like, oh God, will it be a
What else would
drill?
be
Will
in
it
there?
be a sponge? Will it be the pliers?
How will I use it against you?
I don't know. So After that, the hind asks her again to jog her memory about who she gave info to. Sophie thinks about all the pain she just witnessed in the camps and decides in that moment, maybe in the last few moments of her life, that she doesn't feel as sorry for participating in the rebellion. She will die for it, in fact. No one, she repeats. I didn't tell anyone. The hind calmly points to the edge of the platform leading to the water's edge.
To the edge with you.
Sophie's legs and arms are chained and heavy with weights. There will be no surviving once she enters the water. Yet she is relieved, almost disbelieving that the hind isn't going to spend hours torturing her for information. A big galoot with them named Mordock, one of the hind's most vile henchmen,
He's my pet.
seems disappointed and says, Hey, boss, we can get it out of us and give us a chance. Come on, boss.
I am offended by you. I am triggered and traumatized by you right
which
now.
part?
By your Newsies voice?
A little bit newsies.
Yeah. Oh, you're the king of New York?
It does make me, it kind of immediately makes you think of the cartoon villains from Who Framed Roger Rabbit for some reason.
I do. I love all henchmen. Oh, talking like this.
Yeah, boss.
Oh, boss. Oh my God, boss. Get me in there. Let me in there.
So Mordock is very bummed out.
And I'm like, you think I don't want to get in there?
Yeah.
I love this shit.
But the hind says in a lazy voice, she's not wasting her time out here.
Why would I?
That
I've got other
Sophia-
things to do.
That Sophie can die with her secrets. The wolves haul her up, and Sophie cries in pain over her shattered leg, but mostly feels sadness as she looks her last looks at the world, the smells, the sights, things she and we all take for granted. The hind, smirking, asks her if she has any last words.
Emil had gotten away. It was all that mattered. He'd be kept safe now. Sophie smiled crookedly at the hind.
Go to hell.
Mordock's clawed hands shoved her off the platform. The frigid water hit Sophie like a bomb blast, and then the lead at her feet grabbed all that she was and might have been and pulled her under. The hind stood, a phantom in the chilled mist of the Haldron Sea, and watched until Sophie Renost had been wrapped in Agenus's embrace.
All she was and might have been. Very sad.
It's just like, you think, this bitch ain't gonna do this again. She's not gonna make me like a character
Kill them
immediately
off.
and immediately kill them off, right? This fucking bitch, SJM. What you fucking doing to us, dude? I was like, hell yeah, the world of Thunderbirds. Okay, let's fucking go. Thunderbird dead.
Thunderbird down.
Thunderbird dead. You all that cool, sucking up the energy, all that, gone.
Or is it?
Or is it? Why? That was the sound. The two evilest bitches in the room.
Okay, stop.
And we're coming for you. And we're coming back next week. We'll see everybody. We'll see you next week.
I gotta get out of here.